No elevator, take the stairs. Every floor I earn, count them up. Nothing handed down, I climb.
Numbers are the only thing in here that never
floor. There is a number painted on the wall, and I am going to pass it. Every single one of them is one I climb myself, rung by rung, rung by rung. Nobody carried me. To be easy. The second one corrects it with the hand around my ribs. I have a habit of counting things I cannot see the end of. It keeps the shape of the whole climb from sitting on my chest. 10 floors is only 10 times one floor, and one floor carried me. My shadow goes ahead and folds itself around the corner. Somewhere near the top, the air begins to taste like metal. The rail under my palm is warmer than it was below. I am not in any hurry at all. I am simply refusing to turn back. Rung by rung, and the She cannot hear me from up here. Higher, thinner, nothing to breathe but this air gets thin. I get loud, take the last of it, burn it down, nothing left to keep. I climb. Something closer to a blade. My heart is doing arithmetic it never had to do before. Everything I brought with me has turned out to be too heavy, so I put it down along the way and did not go back for it. What is left is only me, and it turns out that it's enough. Gets thin, I get loud, take the last of it, burn it down, nothing left to keep. I climb. Gets thin, I get loud, take the last of it, burn it down, nothing left to keep. I climb. Nothing left to keep. The riff in my head is running 5 while my feet are running 4. They come apart and find each other once in every 4th bar. That is roughly how the whole of this hour has been going for me. Something out of phase that lines back up if I am patient with it. Set after set, the room gets smaller and the way gets honest. Set after set, I put another argument beneath my feet. Nobody's keeping score in here except the one who has to. Set after set until the version of me I wanted shows up. There's a mirror I have quit consulting somewhere in the middle. It only ever showed the part of this that anybody else can see. The interesting part is under it, the part that has to be earned. 12 of these and I will know a thing I did not know at 9. Line it up again. Set after set, the room gets smaller and the way gets honest. Set after set, I put another argument beneath my feet. Nobody is keeping score in here except the one who has to. Set after set until the version of me I wanted shows up. The stairwell lights come on a floor ahead of me and burn out one floor behind. Concrete going gray to black, one bulb for every second floor. The door behind me clicks and nobody in here knows that I came. My shadow gets ahead of me and folds itself against the wall. Somewhere far above a door swings open and it falls shut again. The stairwell lights come on a floor ahead of me and burn out one floor behind. I am the only thing that moves inside this building, and the building does not care. 9 more floors of nothing but my breathing and the hum of every empty landing. Up and up and up, nobody is coming down. The rail is cold enough to keep my hand awake against the climb. I count the floors in 4s because the numbers make them go by fast. There is a window on the 8th that shows the city lying flat. I do not look at it for long. The top of this is all I want. The stairwell lights come on a floor ahead of me and burn out one floor behind. I am the only thing that moves inside this building, and the building does not care. 9 more floors of nothing but my breathing and the hum of every empty landing. Stairwell lights come on a floor ahead of me. The grade went up again and nobody announced it to me first. My shoes have started arguing with me about the angle of this ground. There is a point on every hill where all the charm runs out and the work begins. I passed it somewhere back around the corner with the broken sign. Now it is only me and the plain arithmetic of one more meter after another. Steeper, steeper, good. I was hoping for that. The road ahead of me is folded into something like a wall with paint on it. My thighs keep sending me messages that I have decided not to read today. Everybody else who came this way today turned around at the bench. I went straight past the bench and did not turn my head to look at it. The hill does not get easier. empty air, and I keep going up regardless. You learn the shape of your own balance in a hurry when there is nothing else. No rail to hold, no rail to hold. Nothing on this wall belongs to me. Nothing here was built to catch me. I go up, I go up. The edge of every tread has worn to something rounder than it was. 1,000 people did that with their shoes before I came. None of them were holding anything either at the end. The building has forgotten every one of them by now. It will forget me too, and that is not a reason to turn back. Whatever I lean on is gonna be gone at the top. No rail to hold, no rail to hold. Nothing on this wall belongs to me. Nothing here was built to catch me. I go up, I go up. No rail to hold, no rail to hold. Nothing on this wall belongs to me. Nothing here was built to catch me. I go up, I go up. No rail to hold, and I have not needed one since the 4th floor. 2, 3, 4. There is a place in every hard thing where the floor drops out from under. It arrives without a warning, and it has your name already on it. Everything that worked before this point becomes completely useless here. This is the exact place where most of the good ones put their hands on their knees. The wall is not a metaphor when you are actually against it. It has a texture and a temperature, and it knows exactly what you weigh. I have met it more than once, and it has never once been This room has never once pretended to be anything other than honest. The air in here has got a weight to it by 9, and I am fine with that. Everything that shines in here got that weight from somebody else working. Nothing on these walls was ever given to a single one of us. Sweat and concrete, that is all. No mirrors here, no shine, only what I make right now. The bars have got a rust on them that comes from other people's effort. I am adding mine to it the way that you would add a name onto a wall. This floor has taken every single drop of it from everybody in here. It never says a single word about it, it just holds a hold of it. That is the only kind of witness that has ever mattered to me at all. Sweat and concrete, that is all. No mirrors here, no shine, only what I make right now. Nothing decorative, nothing borrowed. That is all. No mirrors here, no shine, only what I make right now. Nothing decorative, nothing borrowed. Sweat and concrete, and the only thing I take with me is what I make. No engine and no cable and no kindness from the weather. Just the two things at the bottom of me doing exactly what they do. There is a particular satisfaction in a distance that you covered yourself. It does not compare to anything that carried you across. Nobody can take it back or claim a piece of it from you. Under my own power, every meter of it mine. Under my own power, nothing borrowed on the way. Mine, all of it mine. The map does not know anything about the way my legs feel. The hill is only a set of lines to it, and I have never been aligned. Somebody built a road up here so that nobody would ever need to. I am using it for the opposite of what they had in mind, because the point was never getting there at all. The point was the going. Everything that ever carried me before this got left behind at the gate. Under my own power, every meter of it mine. Under my own power, nothing borrowed on the way. Mine, all. reverse and choose the lift. It has the opposite effect on me and always has. The second time up the hill, you already know exactly where the hard part lives again. From the bottom, the first ascent was mostly curiosity, and about half of it was luck. This one is entirely on purpose, and there is nowhere left for me to hide. My legs remember every landing, and they are voting against me. I have listened to that vote before, and I am overruling it again. There is a version of this hill that only shows up on the second run. Second ascent, the one that nobody claps for. Second ascent, the one that actually counts. I have been here. That is exactly why I came back. I have been here, and I am going higher than before. Second ascent, the one that nobody claps for. Second ascent, the one that actually counts. I have been here. That is exactly why I came back. I have been here, and I am going higher than before. Second ascent, and this one I chose with my eyes open. Ten of them between me and whatever it is that is gonna be up there. I have counted worse than this and better than this. These are only 10. The strange part is that this is where the legs decide to speak. Not down at the bottom where it mattered, but here with almost nothing left. The last 10 steps of anything at all are always the expensive ones. Last 10 steps, count them out. 9, 8. Nothing takes this from me now. I climb. The light at the top of it has been visible to me for a very long while. It has been lying to me gently about how close it really was. That is perfectly fine. I would have come up here without it anyway. There is a door and there is a handle on it, and there is the other side. And every one of these 10 belongs to nobody except me. Last 10 steps, count them out. 9, 8. Nothing takes this from me now. I climb. 3, 2, 1, and the door. me. The trail went dark for hours under needles and wet black roots. My legs were arguing with me on every switchback in the hill. Then the trees got short and thin and gave up growing at all. And the light came in sideways like a door opened in the world. Out of the pines and the sky went wide above the tree line. Nothing to hide behind now. No branches and no easy shade. Every step from here is rock and light and wide open air. I was not carried here. I walked and the mountain knows me. There is a line across this mountain where the green lets you go. Above it there is only stone and weather and what you brought. The wind up here is nothing in its way, and neither do I now. I have been climbing since the dark, and I am not asking to be done. Out of the pines and the sky went wide above the tree line. Nothing to hide behind now. No branches and no easy shade. Every step from here is rock and light and wide open air. I was not carried here. I walked and the mountain knows me. There is a flat place at the top of every flight where you can breathe. Somebody designed that on purpose, and I have thought about them kindly. This is the last one. There's nothing above it except a door. I've got one foot on it, and I am not in any hurry to move. For about 4 seconds there is nothing left in the world to climb. Flat ground for once. My heart is doing something enormous and completely private. The building has gone quiet in the way that buildings do at night. Down below me is the whole of the thing that I just did. It looks smaller from up here, and that is exactly the point. Everything always looks smaller from a place that you had to earn. The last landing, and the shape of it is mine. The last landing, nobody put me here. Flat, quiet, earned. Everything I passed on the way up is underneath me now. The last landing, and the shape of it is mine. The last landing, nobody put me here. Flat, quiet, earned. The last landing, and the shape of it is mine. Last landing, It goes quiet up here for the first time in a very long while. There is nothing above me now except an amount of sky that I did not expect. Everything that was in my way is somewhere down there, getting smaller by the minute. I did not beat the mountain, that was never on the table. I just refuse to be beaten.